Well, today, unfortunately, we didn't snap the newspapers, and we will not be able to give you the screenshots usually of the front pages, and so we have to apologize for that. I'm sure from tomorrow we'll do that. Can you start with the daily graphic?
Of course I can. You're always so mischievous. The Daily Graphic newspaper, front page of the paper today, Otumfuo selects new Asante Hima. Government to realign expenditure to target job creation, according to Finance Minister. Uphold Ghana's position on boundary dispute with Cote d'Ivoire. That's the Attorney General, Gloria Ekofo. Back page of the Daily Graphic. Sisala West farmers provided warehouses to promote dry season farming. That's the story on the back page of the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Yeah.
There you have it.
You know, I was enjoying the screenshots. Now it's like we're back to this. This one is doom so. Can I do it? No, let me look at it. The Ghanaian Times has on the front page, new Asante Hima outdoored. Nanama Kunedu succeeds Nanefia Senwa and will create jobs, eradicate poverty. The Vice President alluded, being the source of that story. And some government appointments affront to Parliament, Chairman Sabunsu. Back page, Apia Kinson Blast Stars. Oh, I need it. Overreaction to playoff defeat. He said that even when they had fourth position, they were laughing.
They were what?
They were just laughing.
They didn't care in that game against Burkina Faso?
That's what they said. I didn't watch.
Well, I mean, they've got nothing to lose, right?
Yeah. National Women's League set for April 15. That's the takeoff of the league.
Let's do the Finder. Front page of the Finder newspaper. Police pan latrines causing pollution. Residents angry. Also, VIP house saga deepens from $3.5 million in 2013 to $15.7 million in January 2016. And Mr. Arthur stopped projects on suspicion of inflated costs. Nana Makonedo is new as Asante Hima. Moody's says Ghana deficit will heighten currency volatility. AMA, TMA government appointees swearing in SPAC row. Okay, so this issue about the Vice President's residence, Roland, the filler that has come out now is that when the attention of the Vice President then, Kwesi Mr. Arthur, was brought to the costs of the building, he was angry. I think the words, he was really angry. He didn't like the idea that it was costing so much. And he referred the case to the Council of States. And so, you know, eventually the cost came down somehow, I don't know. But now we don't know which one is the truth, the 3.5 million. Which one's the latest? 13.9
million.
Almost 14 million. So this issue keeps going back and forth, back and forth. I think the most important question is, so what are we doing about it, apart from just talking about it and showing the document to indicate that it cost us so much? So the conversation has not ended. It will continue from all angles, and trust us to cover that for you. Roland, I'm done with the Finder.
I see. Front page of the Daily Guide, shady cocoa board contract exposed. And then we have Otumfuo's sister is Asante Hima. Also, Bank of Ghana in 4.7 billion dodgy contract. And those are the stories we have on the front page of the Daily Guide.
All right, I'll give you the dispatch.
Okay, the Daily Dispatch has Kwesi Pratt blasts police and MPP for forceful seizure of assets and attacks, and focus on Boache Jakon's 176 questions in 198 minutes. So those are the stories we have.
Okay, page. I can do the Business and Financial Times newspaper, which is next. Front page, industry wails over high tariffs, even as business confidence inches up. Government may not scrap energy levies, according to Finance Minister. Open universities to bridge deficit as traditional universities reduce intake. Back page, St. Valentine lands at Achimota Mall. Establish fiscal council to ensure discipline. according to Dr. Akotose. But a bit of this story on the front page on open universities to bridge deficit, the fact that traditional universities have reduced their intake. As the demand for university education increases, the trend of tertiary education in the country has also taken a new dimension with the emergence of open universities across the country. The goal of open universities is to offer everyone equal opportunity to develop their competences, to raise their level of education, and to receive training. Oh, okay. So open universities, you probably want to learn a lot more about that. You can read details of that in the Business and Financial Times newspaper. Before we bring you the online review, just a little reminder of what to expect here on the AM show today. Still to come. It's been exactly a week. It is exactly a week today since a school building collapsed on pupils in Breman Jamara in the central region.
It is a tale of parents kissing their sons and daughters goodbye and sending them to school only for them to return no more. All the joys of motherhood suddenly smashed into pieces. Here at Breman Jamara, mothers sprawl on the ground, rolling uncontrollably in an inconsolable mood. They simply couldn't control their tears. Their treasures, their sons and daughters, went to school and never returned.
That's the story as shared by our colleague Richard Kwajonyako. It's exactly a week today. What has happened? What is new? Justice Baidu has visited the community, and he will join us. We will have a conversation on that. Beyond all the talk, we always talk. But what's the plan to deal with this permanently? 6 pupils died in that incident. All of them have been buried now. And Komla Adom is also telling the story of a community full of disabled men and women.
28-year-old Hamza lost his sight after he was hit by a football one afternoon. He recounts how that incident has left him permanently visually impaired.
I wasn't born like what happened to you? Yes, I think it was one day around 5 o'clock. I was at home. Then we went to play football. Sometimes you need to exercise yourself. Then we just moved. When I was in the distance on the field playing, I crashed with a friend, and then the ball hit my eyes.
All right, very fascinating stories that we'll be sharing with you here on the AM show today. Remember, we have AM Talk as well, Roland?
Yes.
You're still with the dispatch?
No, I've already given us the highlights on the front page. And today we're going to have Dr. Okoboy, Member of Parliament for Lejokuku, and also for Bulsa South, Dr. Clement Park.
It'll be interesting.
Yes, it will be interesting for us to discuss. Anyway.
Okay, you know, Dr. Park has been speaking about this vice president's
the contract terms, and etc.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And he seemed to also have a certain figure, which is not 13.9.
But does he have the papers to support?
Maybe he will come to the studio today with some documents.
Because I know that the latest with the papers, or how do they call it? I think John Mahama, the former president. How do they call it? Evidence-based. So MPP came out with the evidence-based argument.
Yeah.
With papers.
All right. Let's do online now, and our attention is on myjoyonline.com. Okay, so this is a message from the Morning Man for radio, but if you find it interesting, you can read it. Let's move on. Confusion at TMA. AMA as government appointees face opposition from NPP supporters. Roland, I will try and see if we can play a bit of this. There was police people shooting yesterday.
I don't understand though. You say confusion at TMA as government appointees face opposition from NPP supporters. I don't know. The people that the government proposed to be appointed, and the supporters of the party don't want them.
Yeah, isn't that what happens all the time? But
yeah, I remember it happened in the Mills administration.
But this particular incident,
and even in the last administration,
I mean,
even resulting in the KMA chief executive, the presiding member of the KMA.
Okay.
So how many elections did they go? 5 times or 9 times or something?
As in the famous Kumasi one.
Yes.
Okay, but this one that happened at the AMA here in Accra, police people shots
we have
in
the story.
air. We do. Maybe we can share with all of you.
Yeah, so we can share the story about the incident and the confusion that rocked the acceptance or not of those that have been appointed by government, proposed to be approved by government in the assembly of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. And so we have that story. We'll give you a gist of it.
The shots were fired by the police to disperse the crowd, but it remained defiant, refusing to leave the premises of the AMA unless the approval of some nominees was called off. Convener of the group, Vincent Adams, alleged the nominees had questions about them at the local level.
I'm blaming him.
So what do we do? Do we play all the story or just a little of it?
No, you know, this happened early in the day yesterday.
Okay.
But you know, the bits that I was worried about was just the policeman shooting like that. I mean, do we do that with such a crowd?
Gas. It's tear gas.
Yeah, but do you shoot it like that?
Tear gas.
When the crowd is like this, it's not like they are coming on you.
Well, I'm not an expert on it, so.
And that's tear gas.
I've been to.
But that's tear gas.
I think so.
You're sure?
It's not. I'm not sure.
Is that how I thought tear gas? I mean,
or because you hear the poo, no, even knockout, even.
But that could kill someone.
Local banja crash.
That could kill someone. So this is rubber bullets.
One person
but
also
then,
says,
is that how?
"Who is saying rubber bullet? I want to know."
Eric, that's your sound technician on duty this morning.
Say rubber bullet.
Okay, all right. Enough of that. Let's move on to other stories.
Right. It's good that we're not police people. At least we don't know.
Government begins work on digital property address system. Also on my job online. U.S. Justice Department defends tram travel ban. What do you expect? Apology for use of wrong picture. Okay, so our attention has been drawn to the use of a wrong picture to accompany a story about the installation of a new manche, which was posted on Sunday, February 2017. Please accept our apology, myjoyonline.com. Speaker meets media, promises accountable, responsive legislature.
That's a proactive speaker there.
Yeah.
I'll walk into his office and see whether I think
you what?
I'll walk into something.
They will shoot you down before you get there.
No, but he says that accountable, responsive.
When he wants to talk to you, he will arrange that. Yes. Until then,
I think we should arrange a one-on-one with him.
The speaker.
Yeah. We can go to his office and I think that can be done, right? Yeah, we should.
Before you get the feedback, now I check.
You never know. We should. You can try.
Parliament must create space for women. Oseche Mensah Bonsu, that's Majority Leader. He's also Minister Designate Parliamentary Affairs, correct? All right, the final one. Swame Messi spends shortest time at appointment committee. That's still Oseche Mensah Bonsu. But he's a member of the appointments committee anyway. Yeah. Showdown as Parliament debates Otiko Jabez approval today. National service or not. And I feel like we should also spend time talking about this national service. This law, whether there are other regulations. Should you do national service before you're given?
What do you think?
I think you should.
I think that if we want
That's
to...
like giving back
we're talking about leadership, setting example. So if we're saying young people who, after finishing school, should go through national service, and even employers demand that, why is it that you don't want to go through national service? And the other argument I had the lawyer... the other argument I heard the lawyer make was that if you're a minister or an MP, it's as if you're performing a public service. What about those who get employed into through the Public Services Commission to the civil service, and they're also performing some kind of public service? Aren't we all really performing public services?
I think you must do national service. Where there's a bit of confusion, which is not very clear, is if you didn't go to school in Ghana. Because you know that if you did tertiary education here, you would definitely be posted somewhere. You get what I mean?
That is.
Yeah. But if you didn't school here.
If you didn't school here, I think that the law provides that you can be exempted. That is if you don't fall in the category of.
Yeah.
Because
but you see,
it's a youth service.
I think we, as Ghanaians, even if you didn't school here, you must avail yourself. When you return from school, just walk to the National Service Secretariat, tell them you didn't school here, but you want to offer your service. And especially when you have a dream of working in public service, you must ensure that you do that. That's like giving back because you probably did primary school here or something like that.
It's not only giving back. It should serve. You are a role model to people.
Yeah.
So you should serve as an example to other people.
They should pass all of them.
Because how would it be that you tell somebody who is now going to finish a tertiary institution that, well, his member of parliament or somebody he admires in a political party has become a minister, and that person didn't go through service but has been accepted to become the minister. I think it just makes some logic that we should do what is right.
It definitely does.
We need to do the needful.
Yeah. There's this argument that pass
I'm not saying that she shouldn't be passed.
No, they should pass them, but their first year in office should be national service. They should be paid. How much is it again?
No, they should be paid proper.
No way. It's national service. So they get their certificates and they move on. I hear there was a minister in the past administration who went through, so he got a... I need to verify before I mention his name.
Oh, okay.
So he got the
You mean
first
from
year,
university, then he got into government?
No, he didn't do the national service. But after he was passed to be minister, he decided that his first year would be the national service. So he got the national service allowance, even as a minister.
So what happens if, let's say, you're inefficient, and so the appointing authority, who is the president, decides to reshuffle you 6 months?
Yeah, then they'll post you to some school somewhere so that you go and continue the service and teach.
I see.
Or they can push you as staffer, and then you finish your national service.
Makes sense.
But we'll see how the debate goes in Parliament today. We'll be following this particular issue.
But it also just shows that, Charlie, you can't eat your cake and have it. But something will catch up with you at some point.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a bit disappointed because if this is what you want to do, you want to serve the country, then you must ensure that you do it some way, somehow.
So it means that we are not serving the country, right?
I did my service, so I
beg. No. I'm saying that what we're doing, we are not serving Ghana.
But I did my service.
So I mean, we do broadcasting. I'm saying, are you saying we're not serving Ghana?
We all did our service.
No, are you saying we're not serving Ghana currently? Because we're educating people, we're informing people.
No, we are. But I'm saying that if you want to go into full public service,
okay,
be on the government payroll.
So we have to go to
City FM?
Yeah, City FM online.
That's if we have a lot of time.
Right, we do. AFCON is over, so Asaribidi Akon has decided
He's been fired?
No, he's not been fired, but I think he's mourning the Black Stars in a way. Investigate contracts for absurd 13.9 million. That's
Atik. Where has he
Mohamed
been?
Atik. He's around. He's been quiet since. Wonderful, eh? No, anyway, the politics is over.
So $13.9 million on Veep's mansion and insult to Ghanaians. That's according to the PPP. Oh, so suddenly PNC and PPP are all coming out.
Have you seen the building?
I have.
It's a lot of money. Eh?
Listen, maybe the cost of the land is part of it. 40-year development plan, not good idea. And I think this man, Professor Jan Bafo, the ultimate minister for me, the person who I think has outclassed, has performed at the vetting. Really? I listened to him yesterday.
And he was outstanding?
He's an incredible man. I mean, he knows his stuff, man. He knows it. I think he's too qualified. Yeah.
What was his position?
Minister for Planning. But, you know, a lot of the MPs on the committee that spoke yesterday were worried about a possible conflict of jobs, because you know you have Minister for Planning, you
monetary
have business development, and you have monetary evaluation. You have the senior minister,
and then you also have
the Zongo as well, the inner city.
Yeah.
So we see how that works.
He's not necessarily talking about plans of towns and things like that. Is that not it?
No, not necessarily. There's something that he said that it's better to have the positions.
Is it not about economic planning or what?
Roland, I'll give you the tape to listen. Stop asking me questions.
No, but you said you were
I'm saying that this is the response to... I choose to tell you what I want to tell you, Roland. My head is not your head. Okay. So he thinks that it's better for the positions to be overlapping than for a gap to occur. And I thought that was a smart response. Because definitely something in his domain...
Not that it was the most sensible of responses, but it was smart.
Yeah, it was smart. If you're put on the spots. But he says that he doesn't know the portfolio of the others. I mean, clear job description of the others that they mentioned. But in his view, it's possible I mean, it's better for it to overlap than for there to be a gap. And I think that Professor Jan Bafo is my minister, really.
You know, in the Kufuor government, he was a deputy finance minister.
Yeah, and he's worked in the National Development Planning Commission. And it was good to see that the Director General of the Planning Commission was also there.
Who?
Nimoy Thompson was there to support him as well.
Ah, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. And I have a feeling that he will still remain, still be there.
A feeling?
Yeah. No, well, okay, so this is what he said in an interview. He said that after Prof was given the job, before he even left the Flagstaff House, he gave him a call and they talked about something that they'll be working together on. So that's like, you know, somebody who wants to continue. And I think he's the ultimate minister for me right there. Okay, so enough of this, right?
Oh, Moavi's ultimate minister among the pack of ministers is the Minister for Planning.
Yeah, the Minister for Planning, man.
Bugs my mind.
I can be his PA and not take anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I like him like that.
Since you're so much taken in by this ministry for planning.
Otunfor picks 83-year-old sister as new Asante Hima, but on Monday, which was yesterday, also marked the 80th day since the passing of the former Asante Hima. And Erastus Asari Donko is our colleague in Kumasi. He's put together a package for us. We'll tell you the story as he told it right here on the show. Just before we wrap up, let's do some BBC Africa news. And straight away, I don't know what is on the page, but I want us to talk about Nigeria because there were some protests. But since Roland perhaps hasn't seen what's new, you didn't see the protest, right?
I monitored.
Okay.
So
here we go. Just for you, Roland.
Okay.
Just keep quiet and enjoy.
Protest. Nigeria. I hope Two-Face was leading it.
No.
We are tired of stories. We are tired of deceptions. We want a society that works for everybody. But as we speak, we have a society that works for only the few. And only the few privileged minority. Cost of living is going up. It's skyrocketing. People cannot afford even a square meal as we speak. And we have a ruling class that are paying themselves jumbo allowances, jumbo salaries, running to millions of naira on a monthly basis. And so if they can survive, we, the vast majority, cannot survive. We are tired. The people are suffering. Things in the market are too expensive right now. And corruption is killing the nation. And we are saying that enough is enough. We will not say that anymore. And we have now come out to take our destinies by our hands, to take charge of our lives. We have had enough already.
Yes, and this was put together by Moavi Osobwaje, who was reporting live from Nigeria.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, you were not?
I'm sure we saw
but Nigeria is just 30 minutes also. Oh, don't disgrace me. Oh. Sometimes I want to hype you, put your name up there. International correspondent, John News TV.
It's a global village now. Don't give me credits when the credits is not mine. So that's all I'm saying. Okay, so so what?
You're so
if
rude.
You want to sponsor me to Nigeria, that's fine.
You're so rude. I'm talking about that. While all this was taking place, apparently, the Nigerian leader had been extending his medical leave in the UK. And the media in Nigeria was agog with a lot of news about how perhaps unhealthy their leader was, etc. You know, the APC winning and getting all the support, etc.
So, you know, this protest is against bad governance, they say, and the economic hardship in their country. And their president is on a sick leave in the UK. Now he's extended it. He says that the doctors have recommended that the test that he's done, they get the results before he can leave the UK. So there you have it. They wanted change.
But which lab result that takes days, weeks?
Oh no, I mean give the man a break.
UK.
If he's not well. But listen, where's Mrs. Buhari? Our Nigerian brothers and sisters. Where's Mrs. Buhari? Is she speaking again? I love that woman, you know. Let's do a little money moment here.
We have 20 and 10. The 20 is for me, and I'm paying for Mama V. So
hey, but so why do you have the 10? If you're paying for me, why do you have 10?
I'm keeping it for tomorrow.
Okay, so we hope
this
that
one
we
go back
encourage
to
you
my
to
pocket.
save in your piggy banks the boxes that you have. Save something. Save something. Definitely save something. It doesn't matter if it's 20, 10, 5. It could be the coins, the leftover coins. Save something. You never know what's ahead of you. Still very early in the year 2017.
Yeah, I keep telling you, plan for the December that results in catastrophes for you in January, because we know we'll be here. We know January 2018 you will be suffering, thinking that the month is long, but once it is normal 31 days.
Okay, stay with us. Asari Bediako will hand over to Asari Bediako, who's got sports, after which AM Talk will be underway. You never know what to expect on AM Talk today. Perhaps Mr. Clement Apak will bring some document to show another cost to the vice presidential residence. So stay with us.
Mischief presenter. We're taking a break. Asari Bediako up next with sports.